Alrighty. Hello, people. This is Soku. Uh, just doing a little video. I know I hadn't done a video in a while, and just thought I'd do one today for a number of reasons. One reason being that today is Mother's Day, and today is the last day I had ever spoken to my grandmother, and I thought I was doing pretty good as far as dealing, but, I'm calling around, making my rounds, doing my phone calls, so on and so forth, and I call my friend, one of my best friends. Hey, Jay. Anyway, and, I'm talking to her mother, because her mother's there, and we're talking, and she's asking me how I'm doing, and I tell her about my grandmother, and, this being the last day I spoke to her, and it was bothering me a little bit. And my goddaughter is in the background, and she goes, "Grandma, I don't want you to die." And I completely, am shocked. And I say to her, "Can she hear me?" And she goes, "I don't think so." And I continue to have, a complete meltdown and just start crying and whatever and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like when you think you are okay with things and you're not necessarily. And there was just a couple things I want to share with you about that outside of that, just, prefacing it with that I was speaking to my other best friend, and we were just going over how we as humans have this weird response to mortality. And when people die, we want them to come back and we want them to be here. And we were talking about how it's a little selfish for you to want to have those people come back when you want them back for you and for your needs. And depending on your religion and your belief system and so on and so forth, when those people are gone, they may not have gone in the nicest way or when you thought it was right or whatever, but I feel, as I said in the past video for loved ones lost, I feel things happen like they're supposed to happen, and you can't change that. And even though it doesn't hurt, you can't change the pain. And I know this, I've been through lots of deaths, and they've affected me majorly. So I know what it is to lose people. But you have to just hope and pray that they're where they need to be. And, have that pain every once in a while, you deal with it, but then you move on. You know that things will be better, and every day it'll be a little easier to deal with. I also have a little thing I wrote the other day for my grandmother. If I can find it, I'll post it on the description for this video. But that is that. Once again, love everyone that you love while you have them, because you never know. No matter how old they are, I could die right now, God forbid. But I could die right now, and, so make sure you let people know you love them, so on and so forth. Moving on to something still a little serious. I had spoken with a friend on Facebook, and we were just having a regular conversation, and it got really serious, just to make it short, because I don't want to take up all the time. I want to make sure I can fit everything in this. And come to find out, her husband had been beating her, and initially we were talking about, in troubled relationships, you need to work it out and fix things, and, try what you need to try to make it work, but if it doesn't work, move on. And then it gets into the fact that he's beating her, and I'm like, yo, completely fuck everything I just said. Get your shit together and work on getting out of there, immediately. You have kids, you can't, even if you don't have kids, but I know it's really hard. I have been witness to domestic violence before in my life, and I know that it is very hard to get out of things like that. And a lot of people, it's a mental thing as well, whether you're being physically or mentally or verbally abused, or mentally abused. Like, it's all a mental thing. And I know that for a lot of people, it wears on you, and you feel like, oh, I'm not worth it, and no one else is going to want me, and whatever the case may be, that maybe this is your fault or whatever. And I say to you that no one deserves that at all. And you deserve to be loved, and if whoever this person is, whether it's male or female, because men get abused too, whether it be physically, verbally, mentally, it happens. And if you were the person who was toxic for you and or physically dangerous to you, then you need to find a way to get out of that situation. It's not always easy, but there's always support somewhere. Maybe it may not be in your family or with your friends or whoever, but there's support out there somewhere. And you can even, if you're online looking at this video right now, you can go to Google and Google domestic violence support, domestic violence shelters, battered women's shelters, so on and so forth. Unfortunately, there's more help out there for women than there is for men, but there is support out there, and you just need to find it and know that you are worth something. And allowing people to treat you this way is not good, and it's going to be a never-ending cycle if you don't get out of it. There's also a book that my head itches. There's also a book that I think that could help you. I'm not sure. I think it has opened my eyes to a lot of things. It's called The Gift of Fear. And I don't see it right now, so I can't tell you who the author is off the top of my head. I should have had it out. But it's called The Gift of Fear. It's a very good book, and I just think you should read through that. And I'm not going to go over through that because I don't have time, but The Gift of Fear. Also, if you feel like you can't get out of the situation and you can't do it for you, if you feel like you're not worth it, then, that is what it is. But if you have kids, do it for your kids, because things like that really mess up kids, and they need to feel safe and know that you're going to be there. That's a really scary feeling, to think that every day you maybe come home and your parent's dead. So think about that when these things are happening. And I know it's hard, and a lot of times there's times where when people get killed or when they're trying to leave these situations, and I don't say that to scare you or make you want to stay in the situation. I want you to be aware of the information that's out there. But that gives you no reason that you're killing yourself staying there. So do what you have to do and get out of there. On a lighter note, because we're going to move on from that because I only have a couple more minutes, I was talking to my aunt today, and we were just going over people and things, and she was talking about how one of her friends is dating a married man, and she's upset because now today's Mother's Day, and she didn't get any presents or anything from him or whatever. And my aunt's like, chick, you knew what the job was when you took it. Like, you can't be mad because you signed on to be a side chick, or dude, whatever, whether it be Christmas, Hanukkah, Halloween, whatever, your birthday. You're not number one. You signed on. When you mess with people who are involved or married, like, you are always going to be number two, no matter what. So when Christmas comes around, like, they're going to see you Christmas Eve or the day after Christmas. Like, that's what me and my aunt were talking about. Like, you're not number one. Like, you knew what the job was when you signed up for it. You can't get mad when things don't go your way, And I just feel like it's sloppy, one, and I understand that, and I'm not going to sound perfect, or I've never done anything wrong when it comes to being with people or so on and so forth. I have, but it's not right. It's not, not right, not in the, okay, it's biblical and someone's married and so on and so on. It's not right for you. What are you saying about yourself when you're accepting to be someone's side piece? Like, really? You're not. Now, if that's your little thing and you want to be with somebody and you don't want to be number one, then that's fine. Whatever. You sign on for that. That's cool. But don't sign on to be the side piece and then want first place. It ain't gonna happen. So just, when you accept mediocrity, that's what you get. So that is that. I think I'm running out of time, so I'm gonna leave that at that. Love yourself and love the people around you, and make sure you're doing the things that you need to do for you. So, laters.